Terrifying dashcam vision has emerged at the moment. A road truck tyre smashes into a driver's car in Adelaide South. The driver says he spent the night in hospital but wasn't seriously injured. Police are investigating. New research has revealed teachers are more likely to be assaulted on the job compared to the average Australian worker. For more, let's bring in Dr. Taylor Lane from Monash University. Doctor, good afternoon. This is alarming. Why are teachers so at risk?
It's a good question. We suspected, based on some existing evidence, that teachers are exposed to student violence in some cases, but we weren't quite clear what the risk would be in Australia because we haven't quite established a baseline of evidence in this country. So we have unique access to workers' compensation data from across Australia, and we thought we'd look at that risk as well as the overall risk of injury among educators in this country.
So I think your study analysed almost about 85,000 compensation claims. What kind of injuries or issues did those teachers report?
So we ran the gamut of musculoskeletal conditions. That's largely back pain, but also psychological conditions, acute injuries like fractures. There are some others related to trauma like cuts, as well as focusing on those related to or those originating from assault.
You also found that this figure might be a lot higher, with teachers among the least likely to report an assault. Why is that?
Well, we think there are a couple of factors that may prevent educators, I shouldn't say prevent, but dissuade claiming them on educators. When we look at some work-related injury surveys from the Australian Bureau of Statistics, we see that educators are near top of the list. But in our work, the overall risk of claim is only a fraction what the average Australian worker is. And we suspected that the discrepancy is because of the difference between claims and injuries. Only a subset of injuries actually do become claims. And when we broaden that out to consider the other injuries, there's some evidence that even when it comes to assaults, those who are most affected by assaults are probably secondary educators, but also special educators and those who are in education aids. And in those cases, the injuries result from working with children that have special behavioral and physical needs. And in some cases, it's not from this own research, but from other evidence out in the field. In that case, they may be disinclined to report because they see it as an accident or unintentional, as a child may act out because of their special needs.
Yeah, really interesting research, Dr. Taylor Lane. I really appreciate your time today. Thank you very much. Parkland school shooter Nicholas Cruz will spend the rest of his life behind bars. The judge of a Florida court sentenced him to 17 life terms for the 2018 massacre at Marjorie Stoneman Douglas High School. The families of his 17 victims gave evidence for 2 days, berating him as evil, a coward, a monster, and as subhuman. Farmers are calling for more ugly produce on supermarket shelves. They say otherwise good food is being rejected by retailers because of the way it looks. The Farmers Association says superficial standards don't reflect the nutritional value of the product. They say the change would also help tackle the growing food security issue. Rare photos of the Queen working as a wartime mechanic are up for sale. The images belong to Major Violet Wesley, who was Princess Elizabeth's driving instructor during the Second World War. They show the 19-year-old wearing her mechanic's uniform while repairing military vehicles. Major Wesley left strict instructions in her will that the photos were not to be sold off until after the Queen had died, so as not to cause deaths. The scratching has cost a man his pension. We'll explain why next. Also, the incredible mission to save a koala in trouble from the floods. And meteorologist James Barnett has your weather forecast.
Good afternoon, Daniel Gibson with you. Police and paramedics were called to a van roll on the Western Freeway in Milan early this morning. Now, authorities responded at around 4:50 a.m, but after arriving, found no one inside the crashed vehicle. Police say it appears the van had rolled on a median strip traffic needing then to be diverted in the Melbourne-bound lanes. With the occupants of the vehicle missing, police presume there were no injuries. Well, West Wimmera has a new mayor, Councillor Tim Meyer, whilst elected, and last night's meeting in Canova takes over the top job from his father, Bruce Meyer, who's been the mayor since 2019. Councillor Jamie Fetler was elected deputy mayor. And the North Park Football Club rooms in Stawell will be demolished. Council says the facilities have to be pulled down due to unsafe conditions. Demolition works are set to start in the coming weeks. And then you're up to date with more news online, of course, and plenty more coming up right here at 6.
Tab has racing offers on Tab. Bet fixed odds on races 1 and 2 at 3 tracks this Saturday, and if your bet loses, get a bonus bet back up to $25. For racing on Tab, download the new Tab app.
At Autobahn, it's time to drive and shine. Drive well with 60% off this GTX Ultra Clean Oil, just $17.99. And shine on with 30% off the Armor All Car Care range. Autobahn. No prices.
With Amplified Premium Fuels and Ampcharge electric vehicle charging rolling out across Australia, Ampol powers our way of life. Ampol, Australia's own.
Let me give you a Christmas. Feel the magic of Christmas with Kids Cotton PJs for only $10. That's wow. That's best and less.
And the set up that, just tap it there.
Dance with me like Nana, please.
That's not all, we have to hit the road.
Mommy. Hey, Bella. I got a surprise. I'll send it later.
Do you think he'll like it?
Yeah.
Still got it, mate.
Sunday, 7 o'clock,
Waves of goosebumps flooding my body.
and the best return with all new performances. I could watch this all day. All new world firsts
It is a masterpiece.
and all new shots. The AGT Finals, Sunday, 7 o'clock on 7 and 7 Plus.
As many as 8 in 10 Australians have contracted COVID, according to new data. Research from the nation's COVID-19 serosurveillance network shows at least 2/3 of people were infected before September 2022, but the actual number is believed to be higher. The Chief Health Officers of Victoria and New South Wales say we're facing another wave of infections in the coming weeks and are urging people to get a booster dose. 3 police cars parked outside a station have been torched west of Brisbane. Nearby residents say they heard a loud bang around midnight. The station's security camera captured the arsonist using a jerry can and match to light the fire. That person is still on the run this afternoon. The disability support pensioners' payments have been reduced dramatically after winning Lotto. Centrelink says a lump sum prize wouldn't have been a problem. Here's Michelle Jensen.
Wouldn't it be nice? Well, taking home a second division prize in the lottery came with a nasty surprise for one winner. Craig Hill claimed $60,000 in a set for life draw to be paid out over a year. But that's caused problems with his disability support pension and his wife's carer's pension. Collectively, their payments have now been reduced by $1,000 a fortnight.
It takes a shine off to win. It's not like we're going to win the lottery again, so you only get one chance at it.
He says he was told the winnings wouldn't affect his pension if the prize was paid out as a lump sum. But because he's receiving the money fortnightly, he's now been classified as a professional gambler with income. He says the Australian Tax Office made an exception for him, but Centrelink won't.
The did a review and said we're not going to change our decision. It's our rule.